So let's take a moment here. Let's sit up nice and tall. Okay, so palms together in front of your heart. And let's help to settle in. We'll chant the sound of Om 3 times. Deep inhale. Okay, and then gently bow your head. And let's slowly open our eyes, begin to focus. Okay, so let's make our way to our hands and our knees. And if you have tender knees, not a bad idea to have your blanket up underneath them. Okay, and then let's move with our breath. So, as you inhale, let's pull our hearts forward, get length in your spine. And exhale, settle back into child's pose, buttocks to heels. And inhale, come back up, hands and knees, pull your heart forward. And exhale again, round and press back into child's pose, and really sense into the navel center, drawing the belly in towards your spine. And inhale, float back up, hands and knees, pull your heart forward. And one more time, exhale, contracting navel towards spine as you sink into child's pose. And really working with the navel today to help with steadiness. So inhale, come back up, hands and knees, pull your heart forward. And as you exhale, this time downward facing dog, curl your toes under and lift your buttocks up towards the sky. Good. And then again, inhale, come back down, hands and knees. And exhale, settle back into child's pose, buttocks to heels. And now finding steadiness also with our breath. So inhale, come up for 5 seconds, all fours. And as you exhale, downward facing dog, 5 seconds. Good. And now stay here in downward facing dog. Inhale 5 counts, exhale 5 counts. Okay. And then one more time, inhale, come back down, hands and knees, pull your heart forward. Exhale, settle back into child's pose, buttocks to heels. And now a little bit different, working with navel center energy. As you inhale, we'll stand up on our knees. Sweep your arms out and up, gaze up through your palms. Exhale down through child's pose, nice and slow, using the core strength, working on getting the chest to hit our thighs as our buttocks hits our heels. And inhale, float back up, hands and knees, pull your heart forward. Exhale into downward facing dog, contract the navel towards your spine. And again, inhale, come back down, hands and knees, pull your heart forward. Exhale, back into child's pose. Inhale, stand on your knees, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, come down through child's pose. One more time, inhale, float back up, hands and knees. Exhale to downward facing dog, navel towards your spine. And inhale, come back down, hands and knees. Exhale to child's pose, navel in. And inhale, come back up. Stand on the knees, arms reach up. And then as you exhale this time, let's just sit back down onto the heels into Vajrasana. Good. Okay. So now hands onto the thighs for a second. We're going to move into Kapalabhati, the breath where we're pumping the lungs, working with the navel center energy. So let's just take it really slow to begin. And then I'm going to start to go faster and faster and faster. And then I want you to just pick whatever pace is best for you. If it's slow, stick with slow. If you want to go faster, okay? So now for the arms, we're actually going to extend the hands up towards the ceiling, draw the fingertips in and extend out through the palms here. And then, or out through the thumbs really. But make sure the shoulders are drawing down. Okay, so now again, nice and slow. So we inhale naturally. And then exhale normally. And then that last little bit you begin. And then begin to slow it down again. Eventually exhale all of your breath out. And now inhale, bring as much as you can into your body and hold your breath in. Without looking, lock your thumbs together, reach up through your fingertips, draw your chin in towards your chest. Keep holding your breath. And then when you do need to exhale, as if painting the outline of your aura, circle your arms out. So all that energy, that fire in the navel center, expanding out, even outside the edges of your physical body. And then again, return hands to thighs and just rest here for a moment. Observe the energy. And just asking yourself, do you feel a little fuller? Is the energy a little more focused? In the navel, in the heart, in the head. And now when you are ready to move, gently bow your head and slowly open up your eyes again. And then back, take your time, back to your hands and your knees. And then back into downward facing dog. Good. Okay, and then inhale, extend right leg up into the sky behind you. Big lift up out of your shoulders, squeezing forearms towards each other. Nice. And now turn the hip open, so bend your right knee, press into your right heel. Big lift up out of that right shoulder still, but make sure you're not sinking too much in your left shoulder. And then stay for one more Ujjayi breath. Fill your collarbones. And on your next exhalation, please lunge right foot forward all the way up between hands. Come up onto your fingertips so you have a little more space. Good. And then when you're ready, high lunge, reach both arms overhead towards the ceiling. So definitely a balancing position. Finding that steadiness. And what's going to help that is your breath. So inhale 5 counts, exhale 5 counts. And now bend your back knee 2 inches, draw your tailbone down even more, lift your waist higher up off of the pelvis. And now if the thigh is comfortable and needs more opening, push into your back heel, stretch your back thigh. All right, and then on your next exhalation, let's actually keep the spine lifted. Lower your knee to the earth while the chest is still up. Good. And then hands come back down to the ground. Step back into downward facing dog. Like a cat, inhale, round forward in the plank position, letting the core activate. And you decide, either stay here in plank, great for building core strength. Otherwise, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale back in a downward facing dog, and then let's all meet in downward facing dog. Great. On your next inhale, reach your left leg up into the sky. All right, and then eventually open the hips, so bend the knee, press in the heel. Big lift really out of both shoulders. And then stay here for one more breath, watching that pattern of breath. Inhale, chest down to belly. Stay here. Exhale, belly to chest. Excellent. And then on your following exhale, lunge, left foot forward all the way up between your hands. Again, high lunge, so stay on your back toes. When you're ready, sweep both arms overhead. Good. And then using your drishti, so you're gazing somewhere out in front, but eyelids are soft. Bend your back knee 2 inches, draw the tailbone down even more, and lift your waist up off of the pelvis. Nice. All right, and then stay here about 4 more breaths, yogis. You can push into your back heel, possibly re-straighten your knee, opening the thigh. And that front thigh opening, it's gonna really help with the lower back, just giving you a lot of space. Good, and then on your next exhalation with steadiness, bend your back knee till it touches the earth. And then finally, hands come down to the ground. Step back into plank position again. And either stay here in plank, otherwise vinyasa of your choice. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. And exhale, back into downward facing dog. All right, and then one breath here. Check that pattern. We'll all meet in down dog. Inhale from chest all the way down to belly and pelvis. Exhale from pelvis all the way up to chest. Great. And on your next exhale, now walk up by your hands, feet hip distance apart. Bend your knees a little bit, and please interlace your fingers behind your back, reach your arms away from your back body, stretch out your shoulders. Okay. And last breath here. And on your next exhalation, release your hands down towards the earth. And then everybody bend your knees at least a little bit, and on your next inhalation, please roll up into standing, vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. Perfect. Okay, and then we stand tall in Tadasana. And pause here for a moment. And just take that second to get grounded. So tune into the bones of your feet and into your shin bones, grounding down into the earth, feeling the steadiness that the earth supplies you. And then at the same time, feeling our extension and our expansion, our growth, as we reach up through the crown of our heads. And then on your next inhalation, float your arms out and up, gaze up through your palms. Exhale, forward bend over your legs, navel in towards your spine. Inhale, lift up halfway, pull your heart forward, flat back. Exhale, bow in again. And chair pose, bend your knees deep, sweep your arms forward and up. Stay here. As you exhale, again, contract the navel towards your spine. Inhale, stand. Exhale, forward bend again. Go slow enough that you have the time to contract the navel. Inhale, lift up halfway, pull your heart forward, flat back. Exhale, bow in. Chair pose, bend your knees deep, sweep your arms forward and up. And now stay here for 2 extra breaths. Float the collarbones a little bit higher, maybe look forward or up. Just be nice with the neck. Great, and then again, inhale, let's stand all the way up. Exhale, forward bend over your legs, navel in towards your spine. Inhale, lift up half, and this time let's walk back into downward facing dog. And then like a cat, inhale, round forward into plank position, and let's stay here. Now, Vasisthasana, turn onto your right hand and the right side of your right foot, side plank. Sweep your left arm to the ceiling. And then once you sense that unified body, everything working together, then take top arm beyond your head and lift your hips up nice and high, bowing the side body. Good. And now stay here for just one more. And then hands return down to the earth, plank position. Pause for a moment, adjust the shoulders, and when you're ready, open up into side 2. Great. Okay, and then when you feel ready, take your top arm beyond your head. And again, tuning into that breath. So inhale 5, exhale 5. And then stay for one more. It's okay, I'm sorry. And then back into plank position. All right. And then you decide, either stay here or vinyasa, slowly lower down. Big inhale, cobra or upward facing. And exhale into downward facing. And then let's all meet in downward facing dog. Great. Okay, now lift your right leg up into the sky again behind you. And then turn your hip open. Just get that nice satisfying breath into your right lung, right rib cage. And now warrior 1. Lunge your right foot forward all the way up between your hands. Turn your back heel down and inhale. Arms lift overhead. Yeah, so warrior 1. Okay, and then stay there. And if it's okay, get your back heel to the ground. So you turn it in, down for warrior. There we go. Good. Okay, and then you're comfortable. You're going to scoot your foot over here. Yeah. That just gives your back knee a little more space. All right, and then one more breath here, yogis. And then on your next inhalation, let's open it up into warrior 2. Extend out through the arms. Adjust the feet a little bit, front heel in line with your back arch. And now turn the palms up, just give our shoulders a little release. Soften the shoulder blades down the back, but then just be here. Again, tuning into that steadiness. Inhale 5, exhale 5. Even letting go of any of the fidgeting, whether it's in your waist or in your fingertips. Even steady the eyes. And now reverse warrior. Let's lean back. Right arm beyond the head. Still sink into that front knee. Yeah, beautiful. That strong warrior stance. And now focus on that pattern of breath. Inhale, collarbones all the way down to belly. Exhale from the belly all the way back up to the collarbones. This is great manual. I'm just going to spin this leg out a little bit. And remember, you're not on camera at all. Good. Okay, and now Trikonasana. So let's come on out, straighten out your front leg, and exhale, tip over. Right hand comes down. I'm just going to shift that hip back, which will be more comfortable for you. Good. Now, scoop your tailbone towards your back heel, and spin the chest open towards the ceiling. Yeah, you got it, Rita. All right. And now, yogis, take your top arm beyond your head. So again, that nice side opener. Good. And kind of push back into my foot a little bit. Yeah, and now draw your tailbone down even more. Is that okay for your hamstrings? Okay, great. All right, and then last breath here. All right, now look down, maintain that steadiness, hands to the earth. Gracefully step back, plank position. And now back open into Vasisthasana, this time on the left side first. So lean onto your left hand, the left side of your left foot. Optional, stack your right foot on top of the left. If that's a little iffy, just place that right foot in front of the left foot on the ground. And then again, top arm beyond the head. And optional, lift your right foot off of your left. And again, just tuning in. Inhale 5, exhale 5, letting the breath help with your steadiness. All right, and then gracefully back to plank position. Pause here, either stay in plank, maybe vinyasa. You decide. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing. And exhale back into downward facing dog. Beautiful, everybody. All right, left leg reaches up into the sky. And we'll open the hip. And then warrior 1 again. Left foot does the step up between your hands. Turn your back heel down. Inhale, come all the way up. And again, about 5 breaths here. So again, back heel is down on the earth. Good. And then settling into that front leg, just make sure it's not beyond the ankle. And now unbend your front knee just a little bit. And then you have a little more opportunity to do that. Now draw the tailbone down. Lift the waist higher. And I'm going to say be out here today so that you can release here. Now, if you can keep that, go back to palms together. Voila. Beautiful. All right, and last breath here. All right, and now gracefully open up into Warrior Two. Spin the heart open towards the side wall. A little adjustment for the feet. Just check it out. Front heel is in line with your back arch. And then again, nice and steady here. Let's turn the palms open and up. This will be a little more expansive, right? Still expanding even as we're grounding and being steady. Draw the tailbone down a little bit more. Perfect. You got it. And one more breath like this. And then on your next inhalation, take it back into reverse warrior. Expanding through side body. Relax your eyes, relax your jaw. Inhale 5, exhale 5. And if you feel like there's any effort behind that breath, like big effort, just even lighten up on your ujjayi a little bit. That's okay. And then last breath here. Maybe. Perfect. Okay, and then let's prepare for triangle pose. Trikonasana. Come on out, straighten out your front knee. And then as you exhale, you reach it over. So before you go over, you do that. Yeah, that's nice. All right, and then tailbone down. Okay, and then when you feel stable, take your top arm beyond your head. Awesome. Now I'm just going to take your shoulder, Laura, spin it in a little bit more like that. So it's like you're tucking your blade in. And then you feel how your ribs are kind of jutting a little bit. You're going to tuck those in too. Is that okay? Perfect. Okay, beautiful. Stay for one more. Okay, now look down first. Plant the hands down firmly, plank position, and then sweep it open into your Vasisthasana side plank pose. Lean on right hand, right side of right foot. Stack left foot on top. Good. And then once you feel steady, top arm beyond the head. Still inhale 5, exhale 5. And as long as you can maintain that breath, we can lift that left leg up off of the right leg. A little more strengthening for the hips, for the lower back. That's a nice thing to do. Again, it's optional. All right, and then when you're ready, back in the plank position and either stay here, plank pose, maybe vinyasa, maybe. Okay, and then back into downward facing. Now, stay here. Inhale 5, exhale 5. Relax your eyes, relax your jaw, relax your brain. Grounding down through your hands and through your feet. All right, and now getting into some balancing poses. We're going to do Warrior 1 and Warrior 3. Okay. So from here, right leg lunges up between hands, turn back heel down. Warrior 1 first. So turn the back heel down, inhale, come on up. Arms reach overhead. Gaze is steady, soft. And then helpful to really tune into that navel center. So even with your mind's eye, you find your belly button and then maybe 2 inches below that. All right. And then for Warrior 3, we want to move into it as steadily as we can. So let's take hands to hips today. Reach your shoulder blades back a little bit. And now tip forward, chest already where it needs to be. And then nice and slow, tip forward into that front leg until you feel light in your back toe. And now start to lift your back leg up off the ground while you're straightening your front knee. Remember, back toes continue to point down. And now optional, either airplane arms out to the sides or Superman arms forward, or you just maintain hands at hips. Be where there's steadiness. Same breath. Now we want to go back into Warrior 1. Gracefully step back. Inhale, float the arms up again. Stay here as you exhale. And now variation Parsvottanasana. Inhale, straighten out your front knee. Keep the feet the same place. Exhale, reach forward as you forward bend. Either hands come down to the earth or they rest on your shin, whichever is comfortable. Stay here 3 more breaths. regardless of arm position, every inhalation, reaching out of low spine. Every exhalation, we contract the navel, we lengthen, we fold. It'll be a little better for the SI joint. Okay, and then when you're ready, shift back, downward facing dog. Okay, inhale 5, exhale 5. And then with steadiness, next exhalation, warrior 1, left foot lunges up between your hands. Turn your back heel flat to the earth and inhale, sweep arms overhead. Right. Again, find the gaze. Inhale 5, exhale 5. And then hands to hips. Tip forward. Essentially get the chest where it needs to land for warrior 3. And then start to shift forward into that front foot until back toes are light. Lift your back leg up off of the ground and start to straighten out your bottom knee. Actively reach through your back heel, back toes pointing down. And you decide on arm position. Keep them where they're at. Airplane, Superman. And now gracefully back into warrior 1. Arms sweep up. Stay here as you exhale. Find the navel, find that center. Inhale, straighten out your front knee. Exhale, reach forward as you forward bend, hands to floor or shin. And now 3 breaths here. Every inhalation, more lengthened spine. Every exhalation, navel moves in. We bow in a little bit deeper, even if it's just a millimeter. Most important thing, inhale 5 counts, exhale 5 counts. Beautiful. All right, and then stepping back, downward facing dog. All right, final vinyasa if you'd like. Inhale into plank position. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale into downward facing. Awesome. Okay. All right, and now on your next inhale, please come down onto your knees. Okay, yogis, so let's take a moment with wrists. So, you're on your hands and your knees, and then just turn your hands around so that your fingertips are facing you, like so. And now curl your toes under. And what I'm going to recommend is that your knees are really, maybe only 7 inches from your fingertips, so you just walk your knees forward if they're not close enough, okay? Okay, so curl your toes under, and now to go deeper in your wrist, you're just going to lean back a little bit, right? But then keep the hands on the ground. Do one at a time like this. Yeah. So walk your knees forward. Walk your knees forward. Walk your knees. More. Okay. Now that makes life much better. Otherwise, way too intense. But that was great. Going for the gold stars. Okay. So eventually, you've had enough here. If you haven't, you just probably need to go a little deeper. Sink the buttocks back a little bit more. Okay, tip forward again, so you're back to your hands and your knees in a more neutral position. Turn your hands back around, fingertips are facing forward. Now, flip your hands over, so backs of the hands are facing your knees. Now, either one at a time is all you feel comfortable doing. You got to use your core strength and your leg strength here. I'm barely putting any weight into this hand right now so that I can do the other hand as well. You're just flipping them over. Again, I have barely any weight in my hands right now. And then start to straighten your elbows. That might be enough. If you need more, you can spin your arms out. Don't move the hands, just spin the elbows out. And then finally, maybe you pump the fist, so basically squeezing your fingers in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And if you're doing one at a time, eventually switch. Okay. Okay. And you turn those hands back around. Now bring your knees all the way together. Have your toes curled under still. And now sit back onto your heels. Like so. All right, so this is pretty intense. If it gets too intense, keep your toes curled under, but just stand up to here. So you're still stretching, but you're not putting all that pressure on. Okay, I'm gonna face this way so the camera can see me. So you're gonna extend your arms out in front of you. Your backs of your hands are facing each other. Thumbs are pointing down. Cross your right hand over your left hand, and now interlace your fingers. Come downwards and maybe out. So that might look like here. It might look like here, okay? And now soften your shoulders. And deep breath into your arms and into your toes. Okay, so Emmanuel, take a look at me. You're good, stay where you're at. And now go in like this. And around. Yeah, okay, so now you feel something. Got it. Okay, and then we'll back it out. Again, backs of your hands face each other. If you need to take that weight off, do so. Cross your left hand over your right hand, interlace your fingers. You come down and out. Okay, yeah, you got it. Yep, okay. It's weird, it's okay. Again, backs of the hands face, your left over your right. So you're here, go here first, Elena. But don't crisscross. So here, backs of the hands, go here, here, interlace. Does that make sense? You got it. Okay. All right. This one's making me sweat. Okay, and I'm not even on my toes. Okay, and then let's go ahead and release. And now the best part, you come to your hands and you tap your feet out. Yay. Okay. Now, we come to the buttocks, so if you have a blanket underneath you, just slide that out. More into the wrists and into the shoulders, okay? Lean back, fingertips face forward. Straighten your elbows, shoulders are neutral. Remember your breath. Inhale 5, exhale 5. On your next inhale, lift the hips. Stay here, exhale, 5 counts. All right, now I'm going to ask you to keep looking forward today, but draw your shoulder bones forward, lift your chest a little bit higher, and now optional Kapalabhati, just like we did in the beginning. Good, keep it going. Lift the chest a little bit higher, press through the feet a little bit more. And then inhale, big breath in. Exhale, come on down to your buttocks. Okay, now stay in the hands. Let's lift the feet. Heather, you're going to keep your feet on the ground, okay? All right, and then maybe arms out in front. And now straighten just your left leg. And pull it back in. Other leg. Pull it back in. Both legs. Pull them back in. Now grab the hamstrings, lift the chest higher, roll your shoulder blades back. Just kind of taking a little break here. One more round. Extend through the arms. Now a little bit different, bring your palms together, twist towards your right. And then left. And then middle. Now extend your arms straight up, and we're going to come up into seated. Extend your legs out in front of you, going as slowly as you can. That was fun. And then lean back. We're going to lean back into the hands again. So we tip back, fingertips are facing forward, point through the toes, elbows straight, shoulders are neutral. Lift the hips. Now, if that's a little wonky on the shoulders, feel free to bend the knees again. Go back into variation 1. Keep holding, keep breathing. Again, shoulder bones forward. Nice. Lift the chest a little bit higher. 2 more breaths here, yogis. And big inhale, and then exhale. Let's come all the way down. Nice. Okay, now we roll down onto our back. So good to do a little knee bend, vertebra by vertebra. Okay, so good to slouch a little bit. You slouch and then it makes it easier. Once you're down, arms overhead, stretch out through your hands and your feet. Lengthen through your whole body. And then exhale, arms down by your sides. All right, now please just stay here. 30 seconds of resting, right? Just allow yourself to feel into this moment. Notice how you feel different compared to an hour ago. Are things a little more awake, alert, focused? All that stuff has that underlying reality of steadiness. Okay, now bend your knees, soles of your feet on the earth. Arms down by your sides. Get your fingertips to touch your heels. Okay, dynamic bridge pose. Again, moving with equal breath. So as you inhale, please lift your buttocks, reach your arms all the way overhead behind you. And exhale, come back down nice and slow. All right, and do that a few more times. Inhale, we come on up. And exhale, come down. Good. A few more on your own. Focusing on that pattern of breath where you're inhaling into your chest first, then the belly. Exhale from belly, and then your chest. Great. Okay, now the next time you're up, stay up in the posture. And then simply lower your arms down and interlace your hands underneath you. We walk the shoulders closer and closer and closer together. But make sure you're not flattening the neck to the earth. We want to keep that natural curve in the neck. Good. And then Wendy, if you can, draw your chin down a little. Is that okay? I know your hair tie is probably blocking you, but I understand. Same breath. Chest to belly. Exhale, belly to chest. And then there's always more and more refinement that we can do. Can we get it to sound the same on the inhale and the exhale? Which means the force is the same. And now finally, let's remove the gaps from inhale and exhale. So inhalation, right into exhalation, right into inhalation. This circular breathing. And take 2 more breaths like that. Nice. All right, and then on your next exhalation, release, come on down, nice and slow to the back. Great. Okay. Soles of your feet together. Let your knees drop open for a moment. Both hands on your lower abdomen. And just make sure your hands are more like side belly, just so they don't touch. And then just tuning in. Feel the rise and the fall of your belly under your breath. And observe. The beauty of navel center focus and energy is that we do feel stronger, we do feel steadier. And what is the result of that? The subtle result of that is this calmness that doesn't go away. Okay. And now, press the soles of your feet together powerfully. Slowly bring your knees back together. Okay, yogis. Now, let's flip over onto our bellies and we can face that away. So just flop over. Okay, so you're going to come to hands and knees and we're going to do a little bit of our knee extensions. You know what I mean? Leg extensions. Okay, so from here, just let me demonstrate for a moment. We're going to do a little bit of back bending. Okay, so just so you guys don't have to look later. So we're going to do one little round of Shalabhasana first, which is very easy, okay? But then the second round of Shalabhasana, going into true Shalabhasana, locust pose, which is the one where you take your arms underneath your body, okay? So if I were lying flat on the ground and you could see from underneath me, my arms would be like this, like my pinkies basically touching, sort of like that. And my elbow bones are pretty much right in the area of my hip bone, okay? So that's the Shalabhasana arm position, okay? All right, so but first let's do a little more stuff for the back. So Heather, you'll be here doing this kind of action. You guys down here, let's have hands onto lumbar, lower back really, anywhere sacrum can be done as well. Now, draw the pubic bone down into the ground. Inhale, lift up the chest, reach your right arm forward and bring your left leg up. And exhale, let's sweep it back. So I would do full sweep if I didn't have this wall in my way. And then inhale, lift up the chest again. Now reach your left arm out in front and bring your right leg up. And as you exhale, sweep that arm back. Lower the left cheek to the ground. All right, so now keep doing that. Inhale, right arm, left leg, strengthening the core. Exhale, sweep it back. Left cheek to the earth. Inhale, left arm, right leg. I think. And exhale, sweep it back, left cheek to the earth. Bless you. Inhale, right arm, left leg. And exhale, right cheek to the earth. And inhale, left arm, right leg. And exhale, sweep it back. Beautiful. The next time right arm is forward and left leg is up, let's stay there on that side. Keep holding, keep breathing. So remember that core that helps us be really steady. It's the back, the sides, as well as the abdominals. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Think of this as a spinal extension. Reach through your arm and through your leg. And on your next exhalation, let's peel it back. Right cheek to the earth, and then other side. Inhale, left arm, right leg. And again, hold it. Inhale 5, exhale 5. Same breath, super steady. And then one more. Nice. Okay, and then release. And then relax both arms down by your sides. And take a moment. Deep breath here. Okay, now we practice Shalabhasana. So thread the arms underneath the body, or the threading. No, just get on top of them, really. Okay, and your palms are turned down. Yeah, that's great. Okay, stretch the chin out in front. And then you just work on lifting your legs as high as you can. And yes, you're gonna feel an elbow stretch, probably big time. Just make sure it's not doubtful, okay? And then eventually you're lifting your legs so high that they're coming off of your arms. This is building that back strength. 2 more breaths. Yeah. And then eventually relax, and we come on down. Get your arms out from underneath you. Okay, cool. Now, hands underneath your shoulders, push up to hands and knees. Okay. I'm going to do this here, I think, to demonstrate. So if Alyssa and Heather, you guys don't mind turning around. All right. So Mayurasana, actually I'll do it. I'm going to do it from several sides. So first of all, we open up our wrists before, so that this could be even a manageable position, okay? So we start out with our knees wide. We turn those hands around just like we did previously, you guys, like so. You can get your wrists all the way together, but don't be so stuck on that, but just make sure they're not like that, okay? So you are getting as close together as you can. All right, so now second stage of this pose, I'm going to teach it in several stages so that we can do this, okay? Now, the weird part is getting the head onto the ground, okay? So if we're looking at it from the side, I have that same arm position, and then what I need to do, interact with some of my core, I gotta lift my butt up, I gotta start to tilt forward, and then do that cat pose, so round your back, that really helps, and you start to come down, forehead to the earth, okay? Now, from here, I'm not putting any weight onto my elbows quite yet. In order for me to do that, I'm going to need to take my knees out wider. So again, I recommend not just stretching your legs back first. Let's go in stages. So now, it's nice to have the mat because now you're going to actually take your knees off the mat. And then you know how wide apart to take your knees. So then your knees are off the mat. And then you just stay here. And you get really, really, really relaxed. And then you drag your knees back further away from you. So really nice to be on the hardwood floor, but at that point, and you bring the soles of your feet together. And then again, you really, really relax. It's almost like an Uddiyana Bandha without actually doing Uddiyana Bandha. And then you lift your head. And then you start to tilt forward. It's not going to happen with that slippery shirt on. So then you start to tilt forward. So again, we go wide, you go back, feet together, lift up, tilt forward, and lift the legs. So we start there. The key is if you engage your abs, it's not possible, okay? It looks like we're using all the strength to lift up our legs, but what we actually want to do is sink in so much here, relax these muscles so much that your elbows are digging into your abdomen. They're almost like you're just sort of bowling your belly over your elbows, and then you lift up the chest, so that's back engagement, okay? And then you just start to tip forward and your feet start to feel light. And then there's a slight engagement, you lift the legs, but it's nowhere near as much as we think it is, okay? So the trick of the pose is effortlessness. Okay. So, let's start here. You can just face into the side of the room. Your hands are on the ground, knees are wider than your hands. Okay, and then we got to tune into our cat stuff. So look, my hands are all the way in between my legs and my butt is on my heels right now. So Emmanuel, you're going to sit back and move your hands back. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and then lift up the butt, draw your elbows towards each other, but round your back as much as you can in order to get your crown or your forehead to the earth. Okay, now take your knees just out wider so they're off of the mat. Now you're on a slippery surface, which is going to help you later, but stay here in this phase and relax as much as you can over and onto your elbows, like you're attempting to drape your abdomen over your elbows. And then slide your knees back, soles of your feet come together like a little Baddha Konasana. Your feet might float up off of the ground at this point, but your knees are still grounded. And now again, another stage of melting and effortlessness. And then maybe lift your head. And maybe lift the head a little higher and stretch your chin forward. And now tip forward towards your chin. And don't try to jump the legs up off of the ground, because that never helps, unfortunately. They just start floating. And it all has to do with your tipping. And yeah, definitely some arm strength there to keep your elbows closer together. And if you're thinking, man, my elbows are really pushing out to the sides, it's also relative to how long your upper arms are. So if they're not very long, they're not going to come all the way down here. If you have short upper arms, they're going to be like more like solar plexus-y diaphragm area. Yeah. But regardless, we can do it. You know. Okay? Questions? One more time? Yeah, one more time. Okay. So, go in. Yeah, you can come a little forward. Come a little forward. Questions? Yeah. So even if it's just a wrist stretch, right? Awesome. Obviously, need to stretch the wrists. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, makes more sense? Yeah. Cool.
I have to take your navel ring out.
Your what?
Your navel ring, it has to take it out.
Yeah. No belly button rings for Mayurasana yogis. That's awesome. Totally. Okay, questions? What do you think this is good for? Mm-hmm. So, and what? Patience. Patience. Yeah. All right. So, what's another underlying thing of core strength and stability and being grounded? One of the subtle things was calm, and the other one is patience. So, good one. Great. Okay. So let's turn around, yogis, and just take a moment in downward facing dog, just to give your belly a little bit of a stretch and your back a little bit of a stretch. Come back to your breath. Inhale 5, exhale 5. So they call it peacock pose, not because it looks like a peacock, although it does, but because peacocks are known to be able to digest anything. Probably even things like plastic and stuff like that, unfortunately. Birds that eat all kinds of things. Okay, so now inhale, come down onto your knees. Great. Okay, and let's shift onto our seat. All right. So now, let's sit on our blanket. So let's get it that thick. That thick. Okay. And now Janu Sirsasana. So left leg can stay extended. You'll bend that right knee, right heel in towards your groin. Okay. And if you have knee stuff, yogis, remember you can always, prop it up with another blanket. Okay. All right. And then move the flesh of the buttocks back. Always nice to get close to the bones. When you're ready, inhale, sweep your arms overhead. And exhale, bow forward over that front leg. Hands either reach for the feet or just place them onto the earth. Any arm position, inhale, get length out of your lumbar. Exhale, draw the navel in. Even a little bit of a twist, turn your belly button towards your left thigh. And now soft shoulders down the back. Great. And then just keep working here. Every inhalation, we get a little more length. Every exhalation, draw the belly in. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm just going to pull up on you a little. Relax your eyes, relax your jaw, relax your brain. Okay. And then yogis, let's inhale, come back up. Pause for a moment in the center, just lift up your spine and tune in. Again, cultivating that steadiness. And then we'll switch our legs. Great. Okay, so take your time. When you're ready, inhale, grow tall. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the earth or your foot. And then once you're hanging on to something, again, floor or foot, inhale, get more length. Exhale, that little twist. You're turning your navel towards the thigh. Okay, last breath here. All right, and then inhale, let's come back up. Take a moment, sit up nice and tall. All right, now, legs out wide for Upavista Konasana. Okay, and we reach through the heels and pull the toes back towards body. Great. Hands behind you onto the earth, lift up out of your lumbar. And now either stay here, maybe tip forward. And come as low as you like, maintaining that activity in the legs. Okay. Okay. And now inhale, come back up. And slide your legs back together. And let's shift and we'll come off of our blankets again. All right. One more time, do the roll down. So if you have spine stuff, definitely bend your knees. If your back is okay, want to test the strength a little bit. If you keep the legs straight, slouch, roll down vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. Okay, and then once you're on your back again, arms reach overhead, stretch out through hands and feet. Okay, and then twisting. So please bend the knees into your chest. And let's go from side to side, so we're doing a little bit of core work here as well as twisting. Okay, so arms out to your side, spread eagle. If you want to do the elbow bend, that's great. That gives you a little more of the pec stretch. Okay, so whichever one feels awesome, do that. And as you exhale, lower your knees over to the left side of your body until your knees are just hovering an inch above the ground. Inhale, come back up into center. Exhale, twist to the other side, lower the knees over again until knees are just hovering. And again, inhale, we come back, and exhale, we twist. Okay, so do that a few more times. Awesome. The next time your legs are on the left side, you'll keep them on that side. And then just relax your legs over to that side, pin them down with your left arm, reach out through your right arm, gaze over your fingertips or gaze over your elbow. And soften the eyes, even feel free to close the eyes at this point. And now tune into whole body breathing. So not just the chest and the belly, but everything. Whole body just feeling fuller, steadier, more expansive. Like you've really reached, pushed, or breathed that prana into every nook and cranny of your body to give you that sense of fullness. And then let's inhale back into the middle. Exhale, please twist to the other side. Okay, and then again, nice smooth, steady breath. And whole body breathing. Still okay? Okay, and I'm going to pull on your hip just a little. Okay, last few breaths here. I'm going to pull on your hip a little. Okay, and then we'll come back up. Hug your knees into your chest. Squeeze them in with your arms. And do a little rock from side to side. Massage your back. All right, and then when you're ready, we're going to come into Shavasana relaxation pose. So a couple choices, yogis. Either just stay here flat on the back. If you'd like, we could do legs at the wall, Viparita Karani, so any of these walls, feel free to do that. Remember, if you're doing legs up the wall, you got to get your butt right up to the wall, okay? Feel free to get some softness underneath your chest or back, okay? That's all great. Cool. So make sure you're warm enough, yogis. It's good to take hair ties out, eyeglasses off, take the pressure off your brain. Relax the skin of your forehead. Feel your eyeballs sink into your eye sockets. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. Allow your breath to just flow naturally, but continue to observe your breath. Feel the breath as it naturally slides in and slips back out. And draw your attention down into your belly. And if you'd like, even place your hands on your lower belly as you rest. And simply observe the rise and the fall of your abdomen as you breathe. And as your focus strengthens upon the navel, notice if the sensations strengthen. Does a warmth arise? Maybe something other than that, an awareness, a consciousness of your belly. Your belly aware of itself. In a sense, you are consciousness itself. Simply keep returning to your physical center, to your home of stability and steady and strength. Simply watch the rise and the fall of your belly. start to come back. Bring movement into your limbs, wiggle your fingers, your toes, and move your head from side to side to side. And then when you're ready, roll off to your right side. And then we'll gently come on up into seated. And let's sit up on our blankets. We're going to end with a steadying breath. I'm going to turn the lights up a little bit for it. So sitting up nice and tall. You can stay where you're at the wall, yogis, that's fine. More, maybe? I don't know. Okay. So again, sit up on your blankets just so your knees are lower than your hips, please. Okay. And then rest your hands on your knees, either palms up or down, whatever feels most energetically appropriate right now. And now please reignite a very gentle Ujjayi breath. So we constrict our throat just enough that we're in control of our breathing, but it doesn't need to be too loud or thunderous. Still sensing the rise and the fall of your belly as you breathe. Stage 1 of pure circular breathing. Just find that balance again. Inhale 5, exhale 5. Maybe longer. Inhale 10, exhale 10. Relax your jaw and your tongue. And then work on circular breath. So inhale 5, exhale 5. An inhalation right into exhalation, right into inhalation, right into exhalation. Remove the gaps between your breaths. And then as you continue this, equal lengths and removing the gaps from your breath, as your mind grows more and more focused on what you're doing and you're more attentive to how the flow of your breath is, notice if there's any stutters or stops or pulsing in your breath or anything that would represent as turbulence or some kind of shifting in the breath. And then our next step is to simply smooth that out. Smoothing out any turbulence in the breath. This is the start of all pranayamas. All breathing practices start with just smoothing out and getting your breath into a perfect rhythm. Do 2 more breaths like this. And now relax your breath and just hold your posture still. 1 minute of Kaya Sthiram, still as a statue. Observe yourself in complete stillness. And now, take a deep breath in and out. And place your palms together in front of your heart. And take a moment to honor yourself and your practice today. And if you'd like, take a moment to honor all of your teachers. And give thanks to the sages. And if you'd like, offer the fruits of your labor to that which offers you grace. And then we'll end together with one long Om, deep inhale. Rub your hands together briskly, create some heat. Bring them up to your eyeballs and inhale the energy. Rub your eyes, your face, your ears, your neck, your shoulders. And then bowing inwards, bow into your light. Namaste.